Node.js package maintenance team meeting for October 6, 2020. We'll follow the agenda, which was outlined in issue number 412 in the agenda, in the repo. And I will just paste the link to the minutes if people can add themselves to the attendees. That would be great. That for myself. So before we get started, are there any announcements that people would like to make?
We've recently shipped a couple RC versions of NPM 7. Would love folks to get out and try that. Opening up PR against Node. So hopefully you're going to land that for 15, and appreciate the feedback we've been getting from the community thus far. So.
Okay, great. Okay, moving on to the issues which are tagged for the agenda. The first one is number 404, create PKG. Maybe Darcy, you open that. Do you want to bring us up to date on where we are?
Sure. I don't think there's been a lot of movement on this. I think the last person to actually comment here was Wes. We've just been trying to figure out timelines. So I opened up a project board on the actual PKG JS org, and I was gonna sort out a couple like immediate to-dos that we could follow up on. I know Wes also had the action item to basically commit the work that he had done. So I think he's probably got the most complete understanding of where we're at with that, since he's been doing a lot of the work for it. So, but yeah, I think there's some time I could potentially dedicate to this probably in a couple weeks. Right now, I'm super busy leading up to October 20th when we cut.
Sure. Okay.
50. So
right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's essentially the update there. I think Wes has still got the A on submitting the work that he's been up to, and yeah.
Okay. I took that few notes on that front. The next one is draft text for support blog post. That's 399. So that actually went out. And so I'll close that issue, but I'm just going to find the blog post link so I can paste it. Let's see, support. That's not it. This should be easier to find. All right, here it is. Just we can still help promote, get the message out. Okay, so moving on to the next issue. Suggest ignoring a vulnerability by the package maintainer. This is one where we've had a few discussions, and I actually sent an email out just late last week to a number of people to see if we could, get agreement on a few champions to help move this forward. Reminds me, Glenn, I think I forgot to add you to the CC list of that, so I'll go dig that up and add you on. Anybody else who wants to be added, I tried to include the people who I remembered were in the discussions earlier. And the goal is to get a few champions and propose a collaboration space, as that the collaboration spaces in the OpenJS Foundation, I think, will land pretty soon. I don't know if there's too much more to talk about on that. Just, I'm hoping that we'll have a good discussion on that thread and get a few people to help champion and move that forward. Just take a quick note. Okay, the next one is PKGS org for supported tooling. That one, we're very, very close. I had a few PRs open in terms of getting the TSC members to be configured as organization owners, and there are a couple suggestions. We'll actually have to loop back and make sure that, that part's complete. Same with the TSC and moderation owners. I'm not sure. I think we might have done the Add Node.js Foundation account on NPM, but I'd have to loop back on that as well. But I think those were the sort of, we're getting down to the last few things. Is there anything else that people remember that we needed to do or had in plate? Okay. Slowly moving forward on that one. Then we're down to next steps on support levels in package.json. So we did have the blog post go out, which was one of the next steps. So I will check that out. The one that I've got to do at least for, like, say, the Node add-on API and maybe some others, add support info to the modules in the Node.js org. So I'm thinking that, you know, if we can start adding them into adding it into modules that we have involvement in or whatever, that's a good start. And then we have a few other issues there in the list, but I don't think we've started on any of those yet. Any other discussion or comments on that one?
Do we want to get a bit more granular with the modules, just so that, like,
that would make sense to, like, make a list of ones and get volunteers.
yeah, because it's a bit broad. Like, you want to be able to make make that next check actionable. So
Yep.
like, yeah, if it's like Express, which is a good example, like based on, you know.
Right. Do we want to do that here, like put that list together, or should we open an issue to do that async? What do you think?
Maybe we can make a separate issue and get a list, like suggested list of projects that we can reach out to and then add it.
Okay, so why don't I open that issue as we speak? Okay, so I just created this one, which is 413. Okay. See. I'm just thinking I will tag it for the agenda so we get a reminder too. Any other things that we should talk about on that one today? Okay, that's what we had on the agenda. I don't know if there's other things people would like to talk about this week, or.
I'm going to try and start off on the integration testing, which I said I'd do after the unit testing one. I've just been very busy with work-related things, and as I get into the post Thanksgiving era, I will have time and stuff. So I'll start working on that. I have one question for Darcy, actually, about NPM 7 and workspaces, which I know Rui was working on.
Mhm.
I haven't been following it too closely because we're not quite up there. Would how I see workspaces, there is like an area for blog, but is workspaces coming or is it in there?
It's in there. Well,
It's in there.
when we say workspaces, and this is, I want to temper that understanding. It's that we can install like a previously created workspace project properly, and your dependencies will install in the right places. We don't have. There's still discussion happening in our project about supporting more advanced like workflows and commands. But if you run npm install in a Lerna or a Yarn workspaces project, we should be able to install your deps where they should be. So.
Okay, yeah, mine was the learner case. That was what I was interested in. That is interesting. I'm looking at forward-looking work, and that is a really good start. Yeah.
Yeah, that you should be able to use it one like today. You can go test it out, give us feedback. We do have a few bugs that we've that are known right now that we're working on. So.
Thanks.
No worries.
Okay, any other things we should talk about? Okay, if not, then we'll give everybody a bit of time back and we'll talk to you in GitHub and see you in a couple of weeks.
Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah.